song before it's mixed down. I know it's one of two people better switch teams. On top of that, now I hustle to the break of dawn. I guess that sword stuck in stone. That's sword from my mom. If you fuck with Lil Kissy's going down for sure. Just shot love related sister. I won't fight you, dog. When I look at what I have, I think God choosing me.
Yeah. Brother Mark Scott here again with another GMG production. Welcome back to the Brother Mark Scott Show. Again, like I say, this is another GMG International presentation. I have the opportunity to interview a young man by the name of TREY. He hails out of Oxnard, California. He's actually the brother of Debo, who I actually interviewed on last week. They are connected to GMG through J Cash Merkham, who's a phenomenal artist who's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that the GMG family continues to grow and prosper. I want to give a big shout out to the Fluky Stokes, the Do Right Man, the worldwide collaboration, Deep Pockets Entertainment. But now I want to go ahead and bring Brother TREY into the studio and let him introduce himself. Brother TREY, introduce yourself to the world, please.
This is TREY from GMG. I'm from Westside Gangster Crib. That's who I am. That's what it is. This is money get money game.
And there you have it. There you have it. Brother TREY, again, we were having a brief conversation before we started this interview, man. You're newly starting to develop yourself as an artist, starting to get into music. And of course, I always want to give everybody an opportunity to present themselves on this platform. Tell me a little bit about the music and what you're starting to do with it.
What we're trying to do, we're trying to mix and master, make some music about life and stuff like that. The song we're working with is bipolar, because you know a lot of things with bipolar in life, a lot of things happen with its ups and downs. A lot of things sent us crazy, sent us into like a spiral of craziness, and you know it took us to another world, like it's like smoking some weed and mixing everything up. It's just like J Cash making it, and how everything happened to me, my brother, how everything happened to the gang, and how we're pretty much coming up now all together.
Yeah. So tell me, how did you meet J Cash?
I met J Cash a long time ago, going through some things. Like he was about to get in a fight with some Mexicans and stuff like that. And next thing you know, we walked up on each other. I just told him, like, I just asked him what he's doing and stuff like that. He told me where he's from. He told me how everything's happening, and we just got together. And ever since then, like niggas wasn't fucking with us. We just became tight and stuff like that. I remember him ever since he used to wear those glasses that say J Cash on them and stuff like that too. That's our first met him around when he was like 14.
Yeah.
I think around high school era, when my brother used to help out with him in high school. I guess it gives all the little riots and all the little fights just to kick off.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all was getting in the mix together in the sandbox. So y'all came up all the way from knee high to a grasshopper, and y'all been cool ever since.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So man, tell me, as far as the music, like you said, you're working on bipolar. What's your musical style like? Like, what would you say is your musical flavor?
My musical flavor mostly would be, I'll probably say, let's see, my musical flavor, it wouldn't be like no reggae shit. I know that, but my flavor is like, it's just a hood flavor. Really, is all I can say. Like the Chocolate City flavor is just pretty much like that. I mean, anything that sounds good and it sounds like it's telling my life story.
Okay. And again, being out of California on the West Coast, you know, the West Coast has a whole vibe, or a whole style that it's synonymous for. Of
Yeah.
course, everybody knows gangster rap really blew up and got started off of the West Coast. Some people, they use it as a way to kind of personify the lifestyle. Some people use it to kind of tell a story about what they went through and some of the lessons they learned. So for
Yeah.
you, as you're starting to create music now, what kind of message do you want to put in your music?
I just want to put in music that you know, like not everybody got to come from the streets, but I mean, I mean that's where it starts. That's where it starts at. That's where you need to get back to. That's just message. My streets is just, I mean, the message of my music is just that a lot of people can make it. A lot of people could come from the trenches. They could come from getting shot, come from getting done in, come from getting robbed and all that shit, and make it one day. Still, as long as you live and still just be happy you live and be happy you're able to make it again. Because that trial tribulation is gonna end that day you do the right thing. That day you get it, you make the right track, you get the right stuff. And I mean that day's gonna be a lot different. You're gonna make it one day. You're gonna live one day. You're gonna get everything you need to make it in life, and Jesus is gonna make that happen too.
Yeah, yeah. And it's good to see kind of a rags to riches or getting it out the mud or starting from
Yeah,
the bottom and coming up. Like that is a classic American story. But
yeah.
I want to kind of dig a little bit more into to your story personally, man. What was life like growing up as a kid? Like what was home life like?
Home life was just man, I guess you could say selling weed, selling dope, getting out the trap house and shit like that too. Staying up on I Street and all these places trying to get money, trying to do things the right way for me to live. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't easy for us to get it. We weren't private school taught and all that shit. So, you know what I mean? We came from places where we had to get it. We came from like, from nothing to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like I think you told me like when you were born, your mother, your father, like you were born into a family of people who was hustling and getting it how they live.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
how do you think that shaped the way you looked at life?
It just shaped the way I looked at life. Like this is the way to get it, because ain't no other way to get it. They ain't looking at black people the right way. You know what I mean? They look at us like we gotta be broke, so we gotta make it somehow. You know what I mean? Gotta make it happen somehow. Make it happen some way. So I always looked at it like since we get the harder route, we're gonna take the fastest route and the closest route to getting money and to getting in life. We gonna always be broke. You know what I mean?
Right,
But maybe
right.
look at life. Maybe look at life like some rags and riches. So I gotta take it there.
Yeah, yeah. And growing up, like, did you ever have any dreams or aspirations of doing something outside of the hood other than hustling? Like, was there ever anything else you wanted to do?
Man, I want the ball my whole life. I want to play basketball. I want to play football, man. I want to become a scientist when I was little, man. But other than that, it was just other things that I couldn't pursue because I need to get money first. I need to get money, make sure this shit happen, make sure my kids is fed, make sure my mom is fed, make sure my house is looking like my house. You know what I mean? So I mean, but the things I looked always looked forward to is trying to become something other than a street warrior, I guess you could say. You know,
Yeah,
warrior in
yeah.
the streets. I mean,
And unfortunately, and again, from the outside looking in, I've talked to a lot of people who grew up in Cali. My girlfriend, she's from Compton,
okay,
and one of the things that I understood from everybody that I've talked to who grew up in Cali, the gang culture is something that you literally are born into. It's not like you just choose it all the time. It's like you're born into it. It kind of chooses you strictly based upon where you live. So
yeah,
for people who don't really understand that lifestyle, because again, you were telling me the story that because of the lifestyle being involved in, you got shot for something that you ain't even have nothing to do with, man. Can you tell me a little bit about that situation and how that happened?
yeah. It was just some things with my boys. My boys went and did some shit, and shit wasn't looking right, I guess. And so the Mexicans had to retaliate because some shit went wrong. They just did some things. They let us know kind of late, but I mean we was kicking it, smoking weed. I had my son with me and my baby mama with me, and they caught us slipping. We was walking to the store to get something to drink and shit, and they ended up walking up on the porch shooting at me, and I ended up shooting back. But I mean, a lot of things just didn't end up right. But I mean, if my boys want to do what they did, it wouldn't have happened. But I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it like they did what they had to do, and shit like you know what I mean. You know, my boy got taken away from me that day. I feel like getting up and doing something about it. You know what I mean? I still feel like that now, but I'm not in the streets right now. I'm being in the streets soon. But I mean, ever since that day happened, that day cracked off the wrong way. Just because some robberies happened and some other shit happened with some females that shit wasn't supposed to crack off, and things went wrong. So you know what I mean. So it's just what happens in the streets.
Yeah, yeah. And again, because of the organization to set you part of when somebody else does something, all they do is they look for somebody else who looks like them or is part of the same group, and then it's on
Yeah.
site. And did you did that change the way you felt about the lifestyle after you lost your homeboy and you got shot for something you had nothing to do with? Did that ever change how you felt about the lifestyle?
No, no, it didn't change. It didn't change much. I mean, it changed. It changed in a way to where I feel like I had to get a little meaner. I had to get a little more grizzly about it. A little more down to the bone and down to the gristle. You know what I mean? And get in there and see what's going on and see what's really happening. Who's setting who up? Who's doing this and that? You know what I mean? Get down to the dirt and get down to the dirty and see who's doing what and trying to catch them out their shit. Pretty much, it made me feel like it made me feel a lot harder, like a lot harder. Like I had to really get up and beat somebody, and beat
Yeah.
somebody that's up there. You know what I mean? Like not just lay down and let that shit crush me like that.
Yeah. Now, fast forwarding from that, because again, you said you had your son with you when you got shot, but you're a father and a family man now.
Yes, yes.
So tell me, after evolving and growing from the lifestyle to becoming a father, what changes did that cause you to make? Because again, you've got a beautiful daughter, you told me, and you've got a couple boys. So what's that like now, having that kind of responsibility? How do you look at life now?
Man, I look at life like it's too much to I mean just too much to life to lose. So you know what I mean I can't really put too much on the line like right now because I got kids and stuff. But I mean the way it looks now for me is like I gotta slow it down. Gotta make shit happen for my kids. Gotta make this music happen first. And so with that, let the city be the city. You know what I mean? I still gotta do me and do my thing whenever shit gotta be the shit. You know what I mean? But I mean, other than that, I mean, if it just makes you think as a father that I need to do something better for my kids, something better for them to live the right life, not have to go through what I went through and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Plus, I got mixed kids, so they going through the life of being hated for being mixed and all that stuff like that too. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's not the same for them as it is for as it is for other people. But I mean, they got a lot better than what I had it. So I'm gonna be proud of that. Number
Good.
one,
Good,
yeah,
good. As we talk, man, all throughout our conversation, one of the things that I notice is you have a drive, an aspiration to be successful, to make
yeah.
something more out of your life than where it started. And again, you had a rough start, bro. By all measures, like I say, starting off in that situation was not easy, but you survived it. You've been
Yeah,
through some things, you survived it, and you get to this point. Now, as you look forward in life, what does success look like? Like, what would being successful look like for you going forward?
successful. We're looking like just having pretty much Jim G make it. Having Jim G make it, having J Cash make it. That'll be successful for me. Like I'm just here for the family because he's been there all my life for me and stuff like that too. So it's just having my family make it. Pretty much having J Cash make it in life and music. I mean, I'm trying to make it too, but I'm just going off for him for pretty much 'cause that boy rapping his ass off and he doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And pretty much success will just look like what success looks like for me. It would be having a house, a home, you know what I mean, fed and money up there, being able to handle my business. You know, that's success to me. Success to me is making it and living so far since I had to face death before. But I mean, it's still not gonna hold me back from trying to get that paradise though.
Right, right. And what would you want to give back to the world? Because for me personally, I think everybody who achieves a certain level of success has a responsibility to pass back the lessons that they learn so other people can follow in their footsteps and be successful as well. So what kind of lessons from your life would you want to pass on to help other people be successful?
Man, the message I would pass on just watch everything that happens. Watch everybody's moves because some people you think they're the trust, but they really ain't the trust. A lot of things to just be like keep your head up and keep it moving. I mean, don't suffer off all the losses, but make something happen. Make something happen so you can get better and better and better, and just take life's lesson. Like a lot more unique than other motherfuckers ticket. You'll make it one day. That's and my main message is to always watch your back before you accept anybody coming up trying to be your best friend because the devil is a hell of a person. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Devil's a hell of a person. The devil's game is hard to play, but as long as you keep your head above water and remember what God showed you that you can't pretty much fail too much in life unless you fail doing it on your own. You know what I mean? they're doing on your own, make your own self fail and stuff like that. So my main message to them is just keep your head up and keep your head above water. I mean, the only lesson I can give right now is just how to try to get up from things that happen to you in life right now. But once I make it, I'll have a better message and a better lesson.
Oh yeah, you as again, we're all in process, we're all learning, we're all growing, and the more we experience, the more we learn, the more we have to give back. I always like to wrap up an interview on an introspective note to really kind of dig into, extract wisdom. And again, at the age that you are now, you're 27.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time and have a conversation with the young 17-year-old version of yourself, what kind of advice would you give to you about the life that's ahead?
Man, I'll just give myself the message to go harder at everything you want to do, and go harder at all the things that people are hating on about you, and try to stop you from living and stuff like that. Just go harder on everything that you had focused on. Because I mean, I had a way out the streets. You know what I mean? I had a balling career that was looking up to me. I had a music career that was looking up to me, but things failed just because the other things that happened, other things hit the fan. Wrong words were said. Wrong things were being done around me and stuff like that too. But my main thing would be just watch your back and keep your head up and keep your day ones like Jay Cash around you, and you know what I mean. And you'll make it. You'll make it sooner than you thought.
Okay, okay. So before we close, are there any shout outs, anybody that you want to acknowledge before we wrap this interview?
I want to give a shout out just to GMG and Fluky Stokes and a couple other producers out there that I forgot to mention it a couple times, but I mean yeah, I mean my boy Tap too. I give him a shout out too, and my boy Genuine and a couple others out there too that's been doing some things, and that's about it.
Okay, okay. Well, I just had something pop in my head, so I'm gonna ask you, man, because since you're getting into music, give me your top 5 rappers.
I'll say J Cash. Oh, you mean like out of all the industry?
Yeah, now, out of who you listen to, who you like, your top 5.
Oh, Nipsey Hussle, YG, J Cash, and I'll say I will always say Snoop Dogg and stuff, but yeah, I say Snoop Dogg too. Of course, the old school. I like to stick with the old school too. Tupac and Biggie.
Okay. All right. Bet. Well, man,
Yeah,
I definitely appreciate your time, Trey. I thank you for sharing your story, man. And again, I want to give a shout out to Jay Cash for introducing us. Shout out to your brother Debo, the rest of your
yeah.
family, man. I hope blessings and peace upon your children, the rest of your family, man. I hope you are successful in everything that you put your mind and your hands to, brother. Again,
Yeah,
I just
thank
want to
you.
thank you. So, with that being said, this is Brother Mark Scott. This has been another GMG International production. Again, I want to thank Fluky Stokes. Again, Deep Pockets Entertainment. Got to shout out Deep Pockets Entertainment. The whole Stack Squad family, Do Right Man. Got to make sure I get in there. The worldwide collaboration. Shout out to all the work that everybody's doing. But as we get ready to ride out, I'm going to play a little bit of Jay Cash's song here. And again, I hope y'all enjoy it. This is called Who Can I Trust? This is Brother Mark Scott. Y'all be encouraged. Take care.
It's hard to carry on with all this weight on my shoulders. Please, God, happens to me, Mom. Just know I love you. Forgive us for the sins that you have already committed and the ones we are about to commit. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.